Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And this video is not just a comparison of Bam and Kobe. It's actually not what the video is about, even. I just used that for the thumbnail because I thought it was kind of cool because that's what's really sparking a lot of the conversation that's going around in the basketball community at this moment. But my title is most NBA fans hate the NBA, which it unfortunately has become reality with all these lies, misleading information, and things of that nature that hate that certain players get. And the reason why I want to start with the Bam and Kobe thing is because a lot of people are saying that, oh, Bam broke a record. Oh, him being second is now a record. Like Kobe Bryant had the second most points scored by a single player in a game. Yes, that's a big accomplishment. Yes, it's something that we haven't seen anybody else do. We haven't seen anybody else reach 80. And then we just saw Bam get to 83 last night, passing Kobe to become second on that list. And it's still something impressive. Bam just had 21 points last night. Obviously, a huge drop off. This is 8th straight 20-point plus game. And the Heat, 7th straight win. They're currently sitting at the 6th seed. With 2 more wins, they can get up to 4, maybe even 3 by the end of the season. It's a possibility. I think that the Pistons, I feel like, are going to be locked at 1. I don't see anybody overtaking them. But the Heat can still rise a little bit. Bam's offense has been really good. Now dropping 83 out of those 8 games where he scored 20 straight, where he scored 20 plus points in 8 straight games. That's an anomaly because nobody was expecting that. But the hate that he received, not just from guys that are Kobe fans, but from people that thought somebody else would do it. Like, did I think somebody else would do it? Yeah, I thought Luka would have did it. The game he had 73. When he had 73 against the Hawks, I was like, Luka could get it one day. Because obviously in that game, it went to overtime versus the Hawks. Really fun game. I enjoyed that. I seen Embiid 70 piece versus Wemby, and Wemby had a really good game, but Embiid was just fantastic with 70 points. That was on a Monday night. I was watching that and Raw at the same time. So I've seen a few of these 70-point performances. I don't think did the Dame one happen the same day as somebody else? Was Dame and Donovan Mitchell 70-point games the same day? That might have been the same day. But we're seeing players drop 70 and get close, seeing players get subbed out, and the pushback is always lead these players in so they can break the record, etc. Obviously not for Luka because he had to go to overtime to get that 73. Obviously they needed him. They needed that so the Mavs could beat the Hawks that night. But a lot of these guys who get subbed out when they have 70 in these blowouts, it's like, oh, why don't the coach keep them in so they can break a record, so they can get higher on the record boards? And then once Eric Spoelstra does it for Bam, he don't sub him out. It becomes a problem because he's the one to do it. If Kevin Durant or LeBron or Shea, Shea would have got pushed back too, and I'm gonna get to Shea later. But if LeBron, KD, Luka, if they would have did it, then it wouldn't have been a problem. Especially Luka, especially if a Luka or a Jokic did it, it wouldn't have been a problem. If LeBron did it, would have been more Kobe comparisons that we already seeing now with Bam. So I think that would have messed up basketball discourse even more. But for a guy to drop 80 points and for him to just get hate for it and people saying, well, it's not hate, we just don't like how he did it. It's literal hate because people are so mad about how he got the 80 points. As if when Wilt got 100 points, he shot 32 free throws. When Kobe, he shot 20 in his game. Bam shot 43, which, yes, it's a lot. Objectively, that's a lot of free throws. I'm not denying that. But to say Kobe only took 20 free throws, since when the fuck is 20 normal? 20 is not a normal number of free throws to shoot in a game. It's still a lot. Is it less than what Bam did? Yes. But 20, I don't know why we're acting like 20 is a small number of free throws. That's still a significant amount, especially in 2007. So to act like, seeing what Ime Udoka said, just for his team to only score 93 points the next day, like, why can't it be celebrated? We see all the players, Michael Jordan, LeBron, D Wade, they congratulating them. Shouting out Bam, and even the D Wade thing, he didn't even say nothing crazy. It was just a reporter who was BSing, who was trying to stir up something when the moment was about Bam. D Wade is like, don't make it about me. This is Bam's moment. So, like, D Wade, he gave him his respect. So 83 is 83 at the end of the day. I don't know why it's shaking up so much basketball discourse. It's like, sure, we didn't expect it, but to act like Bam is averaging 5 fucking points per game is absurd to me because the guy's averaging 20 on the season, was averaging 18 before that game. And this is his 8th straight game following last night, his 21-point game, his 8th straight game in a row, putting up 20 or more points. So why are fans acting like Bam is a bum? And the reason why I say that, and A lot of NBA fans hate the NBA now. It's because a lot of these false narratives that people say or mention. And some of it's other stuff I'm gonna bring up throughout this, even to end it up, because Bam dropping 83 leads into other conversations. Oh, it's disrespectful that he passed Kobe. What the hell is disrespectful about it? He just said, well, he has the second highest single scoring game in NBA history now. He's disrespectful for breaking a record. Okay, is Shea disrespectful for passing Wilt? When he got to 19 points, he should have sucked himself out, right? That's what Shea should have did. He shouldn't have passed Wilt's record because it stood for over 60 years. So that's what Shea should have did, right? And even Shea breaking Wilt's record, that's still a problem for some reason. Which, since let's talk about that. Shea has 127 consecutive 20-plus point games. Oh, with all them free throws, of course he'll get it. Jaylen Brown shot more free throws than him last night. In the game versus Denver where he had 35 points, he only shot 4 free throws. So why are we acting like Shea only gets his points from the free throw line? Like he's not a prolific mid-range scorer. Like he can't get to the basket. And drawing fouls is an ability. When is that? Are we taking that away now? Look at what James Harden was doing a few years ago. Although people hated it, Ricky Rubio had to guard him from behind because that's how good Harden was at drawing fouls. Drawing fouls is a skill, so to act like it isn't is crazy to me. And Shea has mastered that. But Shea is really good. Shea's giving you great offense night in, night out. He beat the Nuggets with his second and third best player. And J-Dub and Chet was injured. He dropped 35 points. He had 30-something points, had a career high 15 assists, 9 rebounds, nearly had a triple-double and outplayed Jokic once again. It's the reason why Shea is the reigning MVP and still first in the MVP conversation. And so to call Shea a free throw merchant is so stupid to me and such a forced narrative because he isn't getting all guys like Luka, Brunson, Mitchell. I've seen get hella free throws in playoff games, but it's never, oh, they're a free throw merchant. Never that. It's like with Harden, yeah, y'all call Harden that too. But it's like with Luka, y'all don't want to call him a free throw merchant, even though they're the exact same player. They're damn near the same. The only difference between them is that Luka got his team to the finals as a first option. So Luka does have that over Harden if you want to compare the two. But I'll also take Harden's defense, especially his post defense, because Harden even though he's not a good defender for his career, his post defense is better than Luka significantly. Like he has solid post defense. So you can't deny that. But to call SGA a free throw merchant, like that's how he gets all his points. Take free throws away from everybody last year. He still leads the league in scoring. So y'all claim to be such fans of basketball, but don't actually watch the games and just call Shea a free throw merchant because you see you get a certain amount of free throws in one game. But when other players get it, it's like, oh, well, they actually getting hacked. Okay, so Shea not getting hacked sometimes. Maybe not all the time, but you can acknowledge that he's getting hacked here and there. It's just, oh, when he's getting the free throws, when he gets the free throws or a big who doesn't get to the line that much, when they get the free throws, it's, oh, they're foul baiting. But when somebody else does it, it's not a problem. Look out for that foul baiting got Embiid. All that unnecessary flopping and foul baiting got him injured multiple times through his career. So let's go back to the Wizards for a second. Anybody can go out versus the Wizards. I know I'm all over the place, but you see the point I'm making. Anybody can go off against the Wizards, right? So if anybody can do, Cade Cunningham, 46 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists versus the Wizards. You know how many shots he took that game? 45. He took 45 shots to get 46 points. And there was no outrage. Why? Cade Cunningham took 45 shots to get 46 points versus the Wizards. And people say, well, it's so easy to go off against the Wizards. Nobody's averaging. The Wizards give up the second most points in the NBA. So theoretically, yes, anybody could go off against. Hypothetically, anyone could go off against them. But who had the two best performances versus the Wizards this season? Bam Adebayo and Cade Cunningham. If it's so easy to just drop 60, 70 points versus the Wizards, why haven't other players did it? If somebody please explain that to me. I can go through the Wizards schedule right now and tell you all their games. Why haven't other guys did this versus them? If it's, I think, like, why didn't Austin Reeves drop an 80 piece versus them? Chris Middleton. He had 23 points versus the Wizards in opening. That was the second night of the season. I'm trying to wait. Chris Middleton was on the Wizards. CJ McCollum had a 40 piece. He had multiple 40 pieces for that team. So that was, yeah. But if it's so easy to score against the Wizards, why can't everybody else do it? Why can't everybody else just go off against them and average 60 a game? Why isn't the best player on each team, whenever they play the Wizards, dropping 40, 50, 60 points versus them? And K, like I said, he had a triple-double, a 46-point triple-double on 45 shots versus the Wizards. But it's so easy, or they're so bad. Okay. So what? They're still a professional team. No team in college, no team in AAU, no team that's not in the National Basketball Association is beating the Wizards. You can get your best group of rec league guys. Y'all are getting smoked by the fucking Wizards. The Wizards might be a trash team, which they are, but why couldn't Kevin Durant put up 85 points against them when they played just recently? Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers of all time. Şengün led the team in scoring with 32 points. He had a triple-double, but he just had 32. Kevin Durant had 30 in this game. Not close to what Bam did, but it's so easy to score against the Wizards. It's all these hypotheticals of, oh, this player can do this player can do that. Well, why haven't they did it yet? Because they're so good and so talented. Why haven't they did it? You got Kelly Oubre talking about Embiid did it efficiently in 3 quarters. Embiid didn't do it. He scored 70 points. He didn't get to 80. He scored 70. And it's a false equivalency. It's not. That's a career night for Cam Payne. And you're talking about, well, Embiid did it efficiently. At least Cam Payne is celebrating himself. Say you don't want to answer the question, say you want to celebrate Cam Payne. That's all you had to say. Instead of making something up, talking about Embiid did it when he didn't. He dropped 70. 70 and 80 are the same number now? Please explain that to me, Kelly Oubre Jr. or a senior now, because I think you have a kid. So please explain that to me, because it don't make sense to me. And so I don't get the whole, well, anybody can do it against this team and that team. If that was true, then it would have been done by now. Another thing I wanted to address, what is an ethical hooper? What does that even mean? What does it mean to play the game the right way? That sounds racist. I know it's not, but that just sounds racist as hell. What do you mean this player doesn't play the game the right way? Getting to the free throw line is not playing the game the right way? Was Michael Jordan not getting to the free throw line? And I know Michael Jordan, he was getting beat up in the 80s and 90s, so he was getting those free throws. But is he not playing, are the guys defending him not playing the right way because they clotheslining him? Y'all call that physicality. But Michael Jordan is literally getting a clothesline mid-air. That's playing the right way? Isaiah Thomas, Pistons, Zeke, playing on a broken ankle. That's playing the right way? Tyrese Halliburton playing with his injury in the finals. That's playing the right way? That sounds really stupid to me. He furthered his injury, and now he's out for the entire season. So is that playing the game the right way? Like, I really don't get this, oh, this player is an ethical hooper. What does that mean? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. At the end of the day, you have to get buckets in different ways, whether that be through layups, dunks, mid-range shots, pull-up threes, whatever it may be. Coming off a screen, pick and roll, whatever. You have to score. You have to be able to score in different ways, which is why Kevin Durant is, which is why I say Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer of all time, in my opinion, because he is able to score in so many different ways, and he's led the league in scoring 4 times, if I'm not mistaken. So what does that mean to be an ethical hooper? If Shea isn't an ethical hooper, Bam didn't have an ethical game. Is Anthony Edwards an ethical player when he hasn't done shit in the conference finals? Oh, and it's great. But what has he done in the last 2 conference finals? Got outplayed by the better guard both times and lost in 5 games. He had a chance to go to the finals back-to-back years versus Luka. Luka outperformed him heavily and led his Mavs to the finals. Last year was Shea. Shea outperformed him heavily and led his team to the finals. Ant didn't show up in those conference finals. So is it ethical to play bad? Yes, players struggle. I'm not saying that players don't struggle. But is it more ethical because he's struggling instead of a guy who's getting to the line like a Shea or a Luka? It's unethical because they're getting to the line and they're scoring in different ways. Anthony Edwards should have been doing more. He didn't do enough to get his team to the finals. He underperformed. And the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because in those first 2 rounds of both years, Ant was great. In rounds 1 and 2, he was great leading up to the conference finals. So is that unethical because he played better? Did he like what's so you to be an unethical hooper, you gotta so getting to the free throw line makes you unethical. So Jaylen Brown is the most ethical player in the league because he doesn't get a lot of calls and he complains to the refs about it. Is that what being an ethical hooper is? Jokic is ethical because he scores around the same as Shea, but he's getting less free throws. Does that make him an ethical hooper? Like, I really hate that term because it's so fucking stupid. What makes somebody ethical? Jaylen Brown shot 14 free throws last night. Shea shot 8. The Celtics shot 3 more free throws than OKC did and lost by 2. Are the Celtics an unethical team because they shot more free throws? Like I seriously hate that term being an ethical hooper because it doesn't make sense. You have to score in different ways. What's unethical about getting to the basket? What's unethical about scoring? You act like Shea is shooting 85 free throws a game. Jaylen Brown just shot 6 more free throws than he did. And guess who won? It's Shea. Even 7 or 8 from the free throw line, had a 35-point game on 13 or 18 from the field, 2 or 5 from 3, with 3 blocks and 2 steals, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. But that's not ethical hoops. That's good hoops is good hoops. I don't care about free throws. At one point in the season, which it might have changed by now, the Jazz were leading the league in home free throws. Not total free throws, home free throws. Are they an unethical team? Well, they're winning 20 fucking games, so are they that good? Like, does that make or y'all don't care because y'all don't watch basketball? Y'all aren't finna watch the Jazz because they have 20 wins. Okay. But I don't know what's ethical about that. Oh yeah, this next one really bothers me. Mac McClung, oh my goodness. Oh, he should be in the NBA. At 50 points, 10 assists, salivating. The guy's not that good. He's an undersized guard who doesn't play defense and is not a playmaker. He's not fit for the NBA. He's a great G League guy. He's an amazing dunker. He's put on some really fun dunk contest performances and won 3 straight years. But just because he's a great dunker doesn't make him an NBA talent. We're seeing him. The reason why other smaller guards are able to work out is because either they're a really good defender or they're a great playmaker. Trae Young is one of the best playmakers in the league, and he can score at a high level. So that's what's going to keep Trae Young. That's what's kept him in the NBA for a while and made him a top 3 point guard at one point. He's led a team to the conference finals. He might be undersized, but he's an elite playmaker. Chris Paul, he's just 6 foot, but he's one of the best defensive point guards of all time. So that's what kept him in the NBA for a long time. Mac McClung simply isn't a good defender. I've seen this through watching him when the minutes he's been given in the NBA these last few years. His defense isn't good. Like, it just simply isn't. And we've seen other small guards who give you really good defense, and if they can't, then they give you something else. He's a great scorer, but that's not going to work at the highest level with him being undersized, and he's not a great playmaker. Yes, you can have 10 assists, but are you doing that consistently? I know he just did it in the G League, but there's a difference between being a playmaker and a passer. Example, Amin Thompson. He is a passer. He is not a playmaker, and he's also not a point guard, but he's playing point guard because the Rockets didn't want to get one after Fred VanVleet went down with his injury. Amin Thompson is a passer. He can pass the ball. I believe anybody can pass the ball if they have a high enough IQ, which Amin Thompson does, but he simply hasn't developed into a good playmaker. So I don't see him being a point guard. They're still having a good season, but him being a point guard is going to cost him in the playoffs because while he is athletic, he is good defensively. His offense is starting to come together. He's not this great playmaker that should be playing point guard. LeBron is one of the greatest playmakers of all time. He can get away with playing point guard for a season, leading the league in assists. He has the IQ, he has the awareness, and he's just that good of a playmaker to do that. He's a passer and a playmaker. You can be both, but Amin Thompson is just one of those things, and he's just a passer. So Mac McClung simply doesn't fit with an NBA team. Like, as good as a dunker he is, as good as a scorer he is in the G League, a lot of the stuff he's doing is not working at the highest level. And we've seen that. And there's nothing wrong with being in the G League. Mac McClung could beat me in a 1v1. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but he simply isn't an NBA guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody can't make it. It's only 450 dudes in the NBA. If Bronny James becomes one of the greatest G League players of all time, that's fine. He got drafted 55th. He's had some NBA minutes, look solid in him, and he's looked his best and most comfortable in the G League. If he has to spend time there, He has the defense. He has the size. I think he can improve. But if he has to stay in the G League for a little bit, that's not a problem. Some guys just develop differently. Some guys develop later. So it's nothing wrong with being in the G League because a lot of those guys are still dropping off other guys that aren't professional like me and many others who think they're just so great at basketball, even though they're not in any type of league, not even an overseas league. But guys claim to be so good at basketball. I'm not claiming I'm the greatest ever. I'm not even claiming that I'm better than any other guys in the G League. But Mac McClung just isn't an NBA player. He's a G League player, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now the Pistons, they're fake tough, they're frauds. And so when the Pistons was doing the same stuff, they had the same gimmick in the 80s to 90s to the 2000s. It wasn't a problem. Now that the current Pistons are doing it, y'all don't care. Y'all say, well, where's the physicality? Teams aren't physical enough. Teams are soft now. The Pistons try to bring that back. It's a problem. Oh, Isaiah Stewart, he's so fake tough, this and that. So why's the energy changing when the Pistons are doing what y'all begged them to do? Y'all begged other NBA teams to do for years. And notice when the Pistons have a hot head, they win championships. So 80s, 2000s, 2020s, they got that hot head Isaiah Stewart. They're going to win a championship because they got a hot head. That's the Pistons' key to success. A nice point guard, hot head, crash out, championship. All the Pistons need. But now y'all hating the Pistons because of a fight they got into with the Hornets. So y'all don't even like the Hornets like that. Y'all just saying LaMelo was a team cancer. Now y'all riding his nuts and saying that the Hornets are going to upset somebody in the first round. They're going to give somebody a fight, but they're not upsetting the Pistons. So the Pistons, they bring back that toughness and physicality that y'all wanted, and it becomes a problem. Y'all saying they fake tough, they frauds. The Pistons was just in the playoffs last year and are pushing the Knicks to 7 if Malik Beasley wasn't gambling. It was a competitive 6-game series, and they didn't even lose due to inexperience. They lost because the Knicks were simply the better team. Like the Knicks ended up going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the Celtics, the reigning champions. They beat the Pistons in a competitive 6-game series, which could have went 7. I still think the Knicks would win it. But if Malik Beasley wasn't gambling, that goal was 7. So they lost to incompetence, not the inexperience. Even though they were inexperienced, they played really well. And Cade was really good. So, and the Knicks ended up going to the Eastern Conference Finals where they met the Pacers, who they just can't beat. The Knicks just can't beat the Pacers. But to act like the Pistons didn't have a good showing last year, went from one of the worst teams all time 2 years ago to one of the best teams in the league now and actual contenders. The thing that can hold them back, which is a fair criticism, is their shooting. Can it be consistent in the playoffs? But to act like this team can't compete and act like they get upset first round is crazy to me. They have a great defense with Cade, Asar, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. Even though Isaiah Stewart, you know him for fighting and stuff like that, he does give them good defense coming off the bench. Then Jalen Duren's been great. Ron Holland is really good. Adding Duncan Robinson was a nice addition in the offseason. Had 2 All-Stars in Cade and Duren. Duren well-deserved All-Star. Then Cade, an MVP candidate this season, putting up 25 and 9. So he's just been amazing, been a floor general. He's truly been a leader of that offense and that team and has them as the first seed by like 3 to 4 games. So we're acting like the Pistons aren't contenders because he got into one fight with the Hornets and Isaiah Stewart, who's been a hothead. He was chasing LeBron around the arena a few years ago. Russell Westbrook was squaring up the 2021 season. So to say that the Pistons are fake tough and just start hating on them, this tells me y'all not watching basketball. Like, yes, the Pistons lost to somebody a few days ago, which was really bad, but it's like every top team loses weird games in a season. It happens. It is what it is. So it's like to act like they're not contenders and call them fake tough. Didn't y'all want this toughness back in the NBA? This is what y'all begged for, but when the Pistons do it, it's a problem. Like I said, hothead, forward/center, point guard guarantees championship for the Pistons. Whether it be this year or next year, they're winning before this decade is over. The last thing I'm going to address in this video, because it's already going kind of long, nobody plays defense in the NBA anymore. Where does this come from? Where do these lies come from? Nobody plays defense, but then y'all say, well, Wemby, well, look at the defense he's playing. Well, Rudy Gobert, he shouldn't be a 4-time DPOY. Well, if he shouldn't be one, who should have won those DPOYs over him? Stop saying these players shouldn't have been this or that, not saying who should have got it over them. Rudy Gobert controls the paint. Each team he plays on, he makes them a way better defensive team when he's on the court, when he's on the Jazz, when he's on the Timberwolves now. When he's off the court, the defense takes a massive step down because he's not there to prevent those shots in the paint. But Rudy Gobert is such an ass defender. If he was so ass, why is he a 4-time DPOY? Should be 5 soon. Maybe not this season because I think Wemby will win it. But maybe next season, maybe in a season or two, he wins another one and gets 5. That has the most all time. Nobody plays defense, but Wemby is leading the league in blocks per game 3 years in a row. Nobody plays defense, but Scotty Barnes has been amazing. Probably going to be on all NBA defensive team and she'll finish second in the DPOY race behind Wemby, assuming that Wemby plays enough games. If Wemby misses, I hope he doesn't. But if Wemby doesn't win it or doesn't have the games, then Scotty Barnes is getting DPOY. It's no defense being played, but Kawhi, Jaylen Brown, Cade Cunningham, who are all Shea, who are all MVP candidates this season, are some of the best two-way players in the league. Why are we acting like nobody plays defense because of anomaly games? Yes, the Kings lost a game where they scored like 170 points. It's the Kings. The Sacramento Kings we're talking about. They're not a serious franchise. The furthest the Kings got in the Kings won a championship in Manchester. Wait, yeah. Wait, were they the? It was 1951, the last time the Kings won the championship. And did they lose that year? Rochester. The only time the Kings won a championship was 1951. The Rochester Royals beating the Knicks 4-3. Yeah. The only time they won a championship was in the 50s. I wasn't even alive then. None of my homies I talk to now that are older than me weren't even alive then when the Kings won a championship. But nobody plays defense because the Kings, who aren't that good historically, gave up 170 points. The Clippers just scored 150 points for somebody. The Clippers were just a better team that night. Kawhi was on fire. But nobody plays defense is such a lie because it's so many great defenders in the NBA. Like you got your OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Johnsons. I just named you 3 power forwards who give you good defense. Rudy Gobert, Wemby, Jalen Duren, Chet Holmgren. They all giving you really good defense as well. Donovan Clingan for Portland. Kawhi, Marcus Smart, etc. Derek White. Derek White has been the best defending shooting guard in the league. Derek White and Jaylen Brown have given Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Amos Queta have been amazing defensively for the Celtics this year. So stop pushing out this lie and BS narrative that nobody plays defense in the NBA because that's not true. That's simply not true. If that was the case, we wouldn't have all defensive teams. If nobody plays defense, while we had the only guys out there playing football is Luke Dort and Isaiah Stewart. Draymond Green too, but he kind of old now, so he can't be doing that as much. But there's a lot of great and amazing defenders in the NBA. So with that being said, this is a long video. I think it'll be this long, but most NBA fans hate the NBA, which is unfortunate. But these are my reasons why I gave my different examples of why that's the case, why I think it's really stupid, and why, yeah. But yeah, shout out to Bam Adebayo, though. 83-point game, very impressive. Shout out to Shea, just broke a world record that hasn't been, that was set 60 years ago. So yeah, shout out to all the great players that are doing great things this season. Mac McClung, best of luck to him in the G League. Maybe win MVP this year there. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and share.